Welcome back to Akhara Study. Today, we are taking a close look at a fascinating chapter from the Class 5 English textbook titled The Finishing Point. The chapter opens with a student named Razia. She has just won a prize at her school's annual sports day, a book detailing the lives of great Indian athletes. After dinner, the very first chapter she reads is about Pilavula Kandi Thekaparumbal Usha, known globally as PT Usha. To understand the height of her eventual success, we have to look at where she started. Usha was born in a small village in Kerala. As a child, she faced chronic bouts of illness. Her early years were marked by physical fragility, showing zero signs of the explosive athletic stamina she would later be known for. The distance between a child struggling with basic physical health in rural Kerala and the global athlete she would become is immense. It is a reminder that physical potential isn't always obvious at the start. Often, it begins in challenging circumstances. By the time she was 16, that potential was tested on a massive scale. Usha qualified for the 1980 Moscow Olympics. Thrust into a stadium packed with thousands of spectators and the intense pressure of a global broadcast, she struggled to find her rhythm. Her performance on the track fell far short of her capabilities. Rather than retreating, she returned home and spent the next 2 years engaged in relentless training. Every drill and every sprint was an attempt to close the gap she had discovered in Moscow. The results of that discipline materialized at the 1982 Asian Games in New Delhi. Competing in front of a massive home crowd, Usha secured silver medals in both the 100-meter and 200-meter sprints. The transition from Moscow to New Delhi proved that the pressure of a global loss can provide the specific experience needed to win at the continental level. She had found her footing. Her momentum accelerated. The following year, at the Asian Track and Field Championship in Kuwait, Usha secured gold in the 400-meter race, setting a new Asian record in the process. This set expectations incredibly high for the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics. The entire country watched closely as she finished first in her semifinal heat. In the finals, the physical toll of the race peaked in the last few meters. The runners crossed the finish line tightly packed, pushing their bodies to the absolute mechanical limit. The race was so close, it required a high-speed photo finish to determine the winner. When the judges reviewed the tape, the result was devastating. Usha missed the bronze medal by exactly 1/100th of a second. History was repeating itself. 24 years earlier, at the 1960 Olympic Games, Milkha Singh lost his medal under identical, heartbreaking circumstances. Usha walked away from Los Angeles without a bronze, but the performance itself changed the conversation. She had shown she could run alongside the fastest women in the world, down to the final 100th of a second. 2 years later, Usha arrived at the 1986 Seoul Asiad with something to prove. She refused to let her career end on the disappointment of Los Angeles. This chart details Usha's medal record in the Asian Games. In Seoul, she secured gold in the 200 meters, 400 meters, 400-meter hurdles, and 4x400-meter relay. During that exact same competition, she also took home a silver medal in the 100-meter sprint. That volume of victory brought her immense national recognition. She was honored with the Arjuna Award and the Padma Shri, becoming a living legend in her home state of Kerala. Winning 5 medals in a single Asian Games effectively ended the era of near misses. She had replaced the heartbreak of the past with a level of performance that established a new standard for Indian athletics. In 1991, Usha retired from athletics, married, and officially stepped away from the intense physical grind of competitive sprinting. For most athletes, that is where the story stops. But in 1998, at the age of 34, she announced her return. In the world of elite sprinting, competing at that age defies standard physical logic. Stepping back into the starting blocks meant commanding her body to perform against a completely new generation of younger, highly trained runners. She answered the doubts at the Asian Track Federation meet in Japan, securing bronze medals in both the 200-meter and 400-meter races. Returning to the pages of Razia's textbook, we find a poem by Melissa Underwood that perfectly captures this journey. The text reads, "Winners are people who just never quit, and this is a life lesson we all will learn." PT Usha's life is a case study in endurance. If you enjoyed this look into the finishing point, be sure to like this video, share it with your classmates, and subscribe to Akhara Study for more lessons.